Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and share the broadcast. That way other folks will know that we're here. And for that, we say thank you so very much. Family, you all know for the past few years, I have been discussing Essence Magazine for a number of years. Essence Magazine was a staple in my home for some years. Jet Magazine, these are iconic, former profitable, successful, very informative and legendary publications such as Ebony and Jet. I grew up in a household where my family were big readers of such publications, particularly Jet Magazine on a regular basis. Of course, my family also were avid readers of not only spiritual and biblical text and books and all that kind of stuff, but also news. That's the type of home that I grew up in. And with that being said, so you can imagine how devastated I was to learn about some of the recent antics, in particular with Essence Magazine, really disrespecting Black Americans, foundational Black Americans in particular, those who the magazine and the news publications, print publications, I should say, were targeted towards. Of course, we're the ones, Black Americans are the ones that brought it into existence in the first place. And of course, there has always been a major emphasis on Black Americans, but not only Black Americans, beloved, but we understand that even they would talk about some members of the diaspora, and they certainly had other Black diaspora folks that were in high-level positions at Jet Magazine. Yes. So the point of it is it wasn't that we were Black Americans, and certainly not myself and my family, were upset that they would discuss Black folks around the world. No, silly. I love my family around the world. It's when it was clear that they were disrespecting Black Americans, and there was a clear agenda that they were actually trying to replace us. That's the difference. You will never hear me sit here and disrespect folks, Black folks around the world. I love my family from around the world, but I have to call out an agenda when I see one, no matter where it's emanating from. And I certainly don't play Black-looking people. That is to say, using your Blackness to promote anti-foundational Black American and anti-Black issues and being a tool for white supremacy. Well, a couple of years ago, Essence Fest, this article that I'm reading from now is from AP, Associated Press, is from 2023. Why am I bringing this up? Well, look at the headline. It says, Essence Court order shuts down New Orleans bookstore event for Black authors. A New Orleans bookstore's event to promote Black authors was abruptly shut down after the Essence Festival of Culture alleged it violated a new city law, against competition in some of the city's tourist-heavy areas. Lawyers representing the festival issued a cease and desist letter Thursday to Baldwin & Company, a Black-owned coffee and bookstore business, and the author event organizers, Lit Diaries LLC, saying it uses trademark to mislead customers. Family, I'm going to skip down here. In this part of the article, it's talking about what they call clean zones. Clean zones, it says here, are areas around Essence Festival events where other events and vendors are banned unless permitted through the city. The clean zone measure says from June 26th at 6 a.m. until Monday at midnight. Again, the article I'm reading from, this has to do with the Essence Fest from 2023. Well, I was familiar with some of the folks that was involved in this litigation. And so I use my platform. I use the access to the networks that I had, including my own, to back-to-back on a weekend, including a weekend, I should say, where I did back-to-back broadcasts, calling out Essence and asking them why they suing and legally in court fighting Black American people, businesses, and bookstores. And if they had a disagreement, there were other ways they could have handled that. I know that because of some of the direct folks that was involved in it. So Essence wanted to throw its weight around. Now, the reason why I'm emphasizing these clean zones, family, is because in addition to the explanation I just gave you from this AP article, listen to this quote: Essence and the city of New Orleans should not be engaged in shutting down local businesses and protected constitutional expression in our community, and should cease targeting Baldwin Company and a local business that contributes to the true essence of Black excellence. City Council President J.P. Morale, in a statement Friday, said his office was looking into, quote, how this occurred and how to prevent it from ever happening again. The City Council President, J.P. Morale, objected to how Essence misused that law. against foundational Black Americans 2 years ago. Vicki don't play. After I went to work and exposed this, because there were other voices that were objecting, but they weren't quite as effective. As soon as I got involved in it, guess what happened? Essence Magazine, not only did they respond to me on Twitter, they did, but they removed those 2 Black businesses from the lawsuit. And they proceeded to block me after that. Just to give you a little bit more insight and supplement to this broadcast today, this brief broadcast today, watch this clip.
Lawyers representing Essence Fest issued a cease and desist letter to a local business they say used its trademark to mislead customers. And it's cracking down on other corporations it says is taking advantage of the festival's reach. Our Whitney Miller explains.
Friday, we obtained a copy of a temporary restraining order demanding the New Orleans bookstore Baldwin & Company and Lit Diaries, LLC to cease and desist using its trademark to promote and host an event highlighting authors and artists and celebrity meet and greets. That TRO was dated June 25th. Friday morning, Baldwin & Co. posted on Instagram announcing all Lit House events happening on June 30th at the bookstore were canceled. The announcement sparked outrage and concern from followers of the store. In an open letter, Baldwin & Co.'s owner said he received the TRO Friday morning and says his business is being unjustly targeted, saying in part he's, quote, appalled and deeply offended by these actions, particularly considering the unconstitutional nature of clean zone ordinances and the unjust targeting of our establishment. Clean zones are areas around Essence Fest events where other events and vendors are banned. He went on to say clean zone ordinances disrupt the social and economic activities of the local community, stifling growth and development, and infringe upon the rights of local business owners and the entire community. But an attorney representing Essence Fest says,
now, do you all understand why this is more than just about going off on our Black migrant immigrant families that's connected to this iconic Black publication in America? Don't do that. And I called it out long ago. I was calling out Essence even before 2 years ago for different little shady stuff that they were doing. We are people that put money into this. So you can't tell us we were against this, silly. Other Black family from the diaspora were involved in high-level positions with Essence Magazine. When we look at Susan Taylor from Essence Magazine, she was at the helm of a lot of its creative stuff, and she has a heritage that's from the Caribbean. So you can't say we're against that. They did articles and covered other Black folks around the world. But they kept a major emphasis on Black Americans because we were the initial target audience. We're the ones responsible for its success. So when you give us the big fat middle finger, what do you think was going to happen? I'm bringing this up because I'm letting us know we should use our power in strategic manners like this to be effective. And then we should turn around and support the Vicki Dillards of the world. What I find interesting is you can't sit here and complain and talk about now we're going to boycott every African business ever, which I objected to, instead of being strategic. And a lot of the folks that's talking about that stuff now in 2025, they didn't have my back 2 years ago when they targeted me and blocked me. But more importantly, I have a luxury Venus magazine that I'm doing now. I have a school. I have mini gavels. I have other products that I have on my website at VickiPlanet.com. In what way are you looking to support the Vicki Dillards of the world in other ways? Versus just going out saying that we're not going to be strategic with how we're going to boycott and who we're going to boycott. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So before you say that you're going to boycott every African business, which I disagree with, we should be strategic in what we do to send a message. And then we should turn around and support media voices like mine. What do you all have to say about this? My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. I'm looking forward to having an absolutely important a high-level webinar that's coming up. You can learn the details about that. It's very, very, very affordable. It's going to be in a couple of weeks. You don't want to miss it. Go to my website at VickiPlanet.com to save your seat and to get details about it. I can't wait to see you again.